Now just give it a sec. We'll get Instagram going. Whew. Any day now. Oh, I see me. Yes. Boom. It's time for another episode of the Jankety Ass Podcast. Nice and early for me this time. Happy Easter, y'all. Oh, come on. I am live. What the fuck? Get me in there. Of course, we're here on just about all channels. Still no Facebook. I haven't even tried, actually. Also, one of these days I gotta double check, because apparently I can do like a separate mobile layout for. Actually, I wonder. I'll check that out later. Not now. But I mean, as long as my face is in the middle, and like you're watching on something like Instagram or something like that, it'll be fine. Whatever. So yeah, not a whole lot going on this month. I just had just kind of more work in general. I went home for a little bit. I got back into town last night, actually. Or no, shit, the night before. It feels like last night because I didn't do anything yesterday. But back in LA, yeah, I was home for a little bit, just in time to help my mom get her taxes in. And then I was supposed to be at a wedding, which never ended up happening. And it's not like some kind of it's not like a relationship drama thing. It was really more just like a not having the money to kind of do the ceremony. I know they had my friends had toyed around with the idea of just like going and eloping. And well, okay, so I guess what happened, not to air out people's business or whatever, is they plan on getting married on 420, right? Great, cool. But well, they went through a housing thing recently, actually, where what happened is the house that they were living in, it turned out, was condemned by the I don't know if it's the state or city or county or whatever. Condemned, which normally you have like an amount. So if you have a building that's condemned and you have tenants, then we have to inform them. You have to give them like a notice, right? A notice period. Like, hey, this building's condemned. You got to find a new place to live. Here's your relocation fees. Yada yada. Well, this guy apparently waited for like 2 weeks before, or yeah, waited until it was like 2 weeks before the, everybody has to be, this building has to be completely vacant deadline, to be like, oh, and well, the building, you can't live here anymore. So, like, oh, great, cool, thanks. So that put, and this was, yeah, not that long ago. So that put a huge just strain in like their finances or whatever, and timing and all sorts of stuff. So then they were like, well, I got there. I finally caught up with them. And they told me, like, well, we've been thinking about maybe just, eloping, going to the courthouse. And would you want to be our witness if we do that? I said, of course, hell yeah. And they bought me dinner and everything, too. So then, what was it? Or no, that was just whenever I was talking to the guy. I finally went over to his bar. And so yeah, he told me that. I agreed. It's like, yeah, cool, sure. So then the next day I meet up with them. They buy me dinner at a new spot downtown. Sorry, it sounds like I'm like ta 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 ta. I fucking sinuses again. Can't believe I'm still putting up with this shit. And I don't have a BRB screen either. Yet. Not for this. Not like I do with the gamer. But so I met up with them, ate dinner, which they said like, oh, so we actually are gonna go ahead and kind of cobble together a wedding or whatever. Say, okay, sure, I'll come meet you guys tomorrow or whatever it was. Give me the details. So I started to get a hold of them. Of course, everybody was hungover. And then the next day it was just like radio silence. Well, I guess they've gotten into a fight with the people who were supposed to have whose backyard they were going to use for the wedding. And then in true Midwest fashion, every time something goes wrong, everybody just clams up, communication stops. And well, long story short, postponed. So, but I mean, it wasn't a total loss. I still had to help my mom out with a bunch of stuff. And Blood Orange IPA is from 21st Amendment Brewing. There's our good old smug Abe Lincoln. Oh, and there's like one of the other. Oh, because it's like they're like busting out of Mount Rushmore. And of course, as always, I got this thing. There's the other can that I already opened earlier without even thinking. And we got that pour going. Hell yeah. I had a couple of these earlier, but obviously I didn't pour them out. That's a nice amber color. Starting to get that post-nasal drips fucking me up. Also, it's been giving me like a really dry nose, which is making it hurt. But you know what? I'm actually going to put this down for a second. Let me take a second. I'm going to see if I can't clean my face out a bit. I'll be right back. A little bit, I guess. But yeah, I got what? I still don't know why it's happening. Maybe there's something. Dude, I bet there's like something just like got in my nose and died or some shit like that. That would suck. But whatever. I'm still waiting for that IPA to go down. Yeah, like I said, I was just helping out my mom with some things or some stuff with her bank. Obviously the taxes. I had to go back and get all that put together for her. I think next time I definitely want to try and get in earlier. Maybe like around March or something like that. But well, just this time I ended up waiting because, well, A, job-wise I wasn't getting much. And B, Jesus Christ. Still coming out. B, what? Oh, just timing-wise, because, well, I had two things that were kind of close together that I wanted to go to. Well, one I wanted to go to, and then the other, my mom's taxes. So I just planned around April, pretty much. And then, well, I'll have one more time, sometime in the summer, I gotta go back. Because one of the things I was helping with is, our new insurance company wanted us to address some issues with the building. So, well, one thing we did is we had somebody come by to replace a couple of windows that were busted, which weren't really that big of a deal, but I mean they were on the report, so whatever. And then he's also gonna fix up part of our walkway sidewalk. Ah, fuck. Because we have a spot that there's just a big old hole in it, right? And then what I did is I went back. We have like a basement staircase that goes down to the mechanical and boiler rooms of our apartment building. So, and for some fucking reason, like in the crook between the top step and the second one, my nose keeps itching. There's a pipe that runs. It's just like nestled in the corner there, and it's for the boiler. So, A, can't take it out. B, it's basically a trip hazard. So, I put up like a bunch of signs and stuff like that, and spray painted it a different color so it stands out. It's not perfect, but I mean, it's something. Then other than that, I kind of just chilled for the most part. You know, I spent some time with my mom. Basically, try and catch up with some friends. Didn't get all of them, but, you know, whatever. There we go. Yeah, this stuff tastes really good. It doesn't even have like a, there's no hoppy bite to this at all, which is nice. So it doesn't even really taste like an IPA. Only a little bit, but... Oh, yeah. And my nose is itching. Fuck. I got, like, dryness or something in there. Fuck. It's nasty. I hate it. Sorry to traumatize all of you. Imagine how I feel. I got to deal with this. And I got, like, a big dry one. Just stuck up in there. It's not going anywhere. And I definitely got nose hairs that are just... God damn. Dude, this is like actual self-torture. My body hates me. I don't know why. It's so hard to function. What else did I do? Oh yeah, I think I said it before. Before I left, I started buying edibles online, of course, because... Sorry, snot break. Yeah, I started buying edibles online because you just can't get Delta 8 in California. Delta 8 or Delta 9, which I think is just... I think 9 is just a slightly different version of Delta 8. And just to kind of get around some of the regulatory shit. Or maybe it's like a refined version. I don't know. But basically the point being is that whole market's back. Just not in California. Never was. Well, no. I'm lying. There is a little bit. My smoke shop still gets some stuff every once in a while. But it's not the greatest. Like there's like one brand that has a pack. It's where it's like fuck. It's like the pack's like 1,000 milligrams, and then there might be 6 or 7 gummies. You know, it's one of those things where they're just kind of like whatever. So you can't really rely on that. But yeah, I went back home and. Of course, my smoke shop still had some, so I bought a 10-pack. Didn't get through all of them, so there's a lot that are still in my... I'd say like half the bag is still in my fridge back in my apartment. But then on top of that, my buddies who were supposed to get married, they were nice enough to give me a pack of... It was a 2-pack of... The pack itself was 3,000 milligrams, and there were only 2 gummies. So that means that these were each one of these were 1,500. And now to rehash the math for you guys again. When I was taking like the normal Delta 8, I was finding that 30 milligrams are about the same as a 10 milligram piece of regular THC resin gummy. So whatever 30 times 1500 is. Anyways, and of course I'm thinking like, well, I flew, right? So there's no way I can't get these things on the plane with me. And B, it's also like, well, when am I going to take them? Because these things are going to absolutely fuck me up. So, well, like we already didn't have the wedding. I say we, like it was me. But they already didn't have the wedding, right? So then the next day, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to, try and see what some other people are doing. Because all the bars were closed that day too, right? It was Easter Sunday. Which, again, happy Easter. My nose is still killing me. What was I saying? Yeah, so the next day, which was the day before I had to fly, I had the idea like, well, you know what? Let me take one of these now, step out for a bit, see what's up, and then, if they're good, if I like this, then I'll just take one when I'm on the plane. So I took one, or I would take the other one while I'm on the plane. So I took the one, and, I had an idea of what would happen because I'd been out when I'd taken, like, ones that were a little too strong. And it's like, oh, shit, I'm getting dizzy. It's time for me to stop and go home. So I went out to my local place. Got some food, got a couple drinks, and then I started feeling dizzy or cleaning, which is just a whole other story. That's other people's drama, though. That's not me. But kind of wish I knew about that. But actually, I wouldn't even. I don't know. Whatever. I'd have helped, but in this case, I was actually too high to help, so that wasn't gonna work. And so yeah, I stumbled home. This thing's really kicking my ass. And then in the morning, I was just like I literally this one I actually prepped hard for. Like I had 6 glasses of water maybe. Like right up until I fell asleep. And then in the next morning, I was still just insanely dehydrated, which of course leads to like migraines and such, which doesn't help. And the only thing I had to combat this is I'd been smart enough because I was going on a plane, so I bought some new whatchamacallit. What do I take? What's the motion sickness? It's Dramamine. I bought a new pack of Dramamine, so I had those for the flight there, and then yeah, I had to take those in the morning because my head was just fucking me up so hard. And then, well, the pain started to go away, but then those things started to kick in, and they really put you to sleep. So I literally felt like I could feel my eyes just drooping, but like completely. So I like in my mind I look like this, and yeah, I think I looked at myself in the mirror at one point before I left the house, and my face looked yellow. I was just fucked up. basically feeling like I'd escaped from a hospital or something like that. It was pretty bad. But we got to the plane, and so what I had done this time is, well, this is what had made it especially harrowing, is because I had elected to fly into Sioux Falls instead of all the way home, because so my hometown is a regional airport, whereas the Sioux Falls, well, actually they're both regional airports, but there's like I don't know, different levels. I guess like one's a super regional, which is like my hometown, but the difference in plane tickets was like $300. But then I rented a vehicle, and that kind of skyrocketed all that. But the reason being is because the town that I flew into was like 3 hours away from my hometown, but a lot cheaper. So I figured like, okay, I'll just rent a vehicle, drive home. I have it, and then drive back, and cool, right? Well, so of course, I'm half asleep, and now I got to drive, halfway across the state to get back to Sioux Falls. So that was fun. I was feeling a lot better by the time I actually got behind the wheel, mind you. So I was just like tired, which I've done that before. That's fine. That's like driving back from Vegas. Uh, and then yeah, I got to the plane, and I basically just, well, I took more Dramamine there, of course, and yeah, basically just fell asleep for like the whole way back. Well, obviously I woke up enough so that I could get off when I got to Minneapolis and go to my next plane to go to LAX. And yeah, I was just out the whole time. I know I started watching the movie. What was I watching? It was like some Chinese movie, and yeah, I just couldn't stay up. So, and then even by the time I got home, my roommate was nice enough to pick me up, but I was like, I couldn't even talk. So I was just so completely drained. That was a couple days ago. We're good now. And also, I ended up, I was just like, there's no way in hell that I'm going to take this other piece today, right? Like the amount of just absolute exhaustion that I had by the time I got back to LA is nothing compared to how I would feel if I actually took this fucking. They'd be like pushing me down the luggage conveyor to get me out. I'd be done. At least I don't get like paranoid or anything like that. I just get bleh, just complete fucking shut down. What was it? So yeah, I ended up leaving that other piece. I just sealed the baggie and stuck it in my fridge back at the apartment. So I got all that waiting for me next time I get back there. And hey, whatever. I think the next time I go home though, I might turn it into a road trip again. For a couple of reasons. I have a lot of Best Western points saved up just from the few times that I did go back and forth the last couple of years. So I'll have a free hotel room at least. A couple, easily. And, B, it turns out that, B1, my passport is actually expired. And it was funny, I didn't even notice because the last time I used it, when I had to fly home the first time that our landlord tried suing us and I had to go to court, I still had like a year left on it. And then also, they've now instituted like there's like a real ID gold star thing that you have to get on your ID if you want to fly. The last time I had mine renewed was a few years back, like before the pandemic. So they didn't have that yet. Mine doesn't actually have that. My mom's does, which is funny. And the funny that we were even talking about that before and looking it up, right? And I thought like, well, I didn't really think much of it because my ID expires this year in October on my birthday, so I figured like, well, I'm just gonna be getting a new one pretty soon here anyway, right? Well, now apparently it's at the beginning of May here. You need to have your real ID star there, right? Like you need to have it in order to travel, like as far as airplanes and probably boats, stuff like that goes. So I I don't know if I want to like go early, try and renew, and then also this next month here, May, is probably going to be the last month that I live in this apartment, but that I'm in right now. So it's like, well, now I don't want people sending stuff. I can't give an address now. Again, here we are. It's annoying. But I figured like if I wait till the summer to oh yeah, if you have a passport then you don't need the other real ID star. But I won't have a passport either. So I figure if I wait until the summer we move or whatever, and then yeah, just do it then, I guess. But then by then I'll want to figure out a time to come home again. So, and honestly, I miss the doing the road trips personally, even though it sucks on everything else. I miss it. We'll see. We'll see how things go. And in any case, or what else? I know that there's some other new things. Oh yeah, if you've been watching, if you've been keeping up with the lives and stuff like that, I'd been playing through Doom 2016 again. Well, yeah, again for me, but it's part of my my series and all that. For the Gutsy Ass Gamer, and then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna play through Doom Eternal. Same thing, get those all ready because the new Doom is coming out pretty soon, and I think it's gonna be the next one I get. If not, I want to at least be ready to go. And then let's see, I'm almost done because I also decided to go ahead and do the to keep going with the seasons for Mortal Kombat, just because it's more stuff, and I'm gonna play them anyway. So screw it. So I'm almost done with that. I got hung up on the last, the final Sub-Zero boss, because he's got to move towards the end where he just like charges up and ground pounds, and then you just immediately die. You just lose whatever. No, I've won before. I just need to get my timing down. Get that figured out. Or maybe there's a way to avoid it. I don't know. I got the whatchamacallit, immune to projectiles thing, so maybe that'll do it. We'll see. Who knows? But yeah, because I'm gonna play Doom Dark Ages. Looks really good. Been seeing some ads and stuff like that. And I'd also never played through the DLCs in Eternal, which I think I've mentioned 100 times before. Now, so yeah, that's all on the horizon. Got to do that, and of course I got to figure out other ways to make money. Fun times. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is die, apparently. No. What I'm gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and let other people drive the show a bit. We're gonna hop on some Reddit here and check out some articles in our page, Casual Conversation. Yay. Subreddit is the word. Okay, let's start with the first one here. And of course, what we do is I just go on Casual Conversations, is just random people's musings or whatever, and just go from there. So this first one title is I thought I was flirting. Turns out I was just iron deficient. So I was at this cafe, and the guy behind the counter was so cute, like distractingly cute. I hope this is a girl. He asked what I wanted, and I completely blanked. I panicked and said, whatever has the most spinach in it. He laughed and said, rough day? And I think I was being charming, said, no, I think I just might be dying. Anyway, now I'm eating a sad green wrap. He probably thinks I'm anemic. I can never show my face there again. This person says, on the other hand, he will remember you. Might as well go back and lean into it when he recognizes you. Laugh it off and continue to live rent-free in his head. Sounds fun. Hey, you know, it's something entertaining, I guess. One man's trauma is another man's I don't know, punchline. Reply, after a recent rough day at work, I went to a new to me restaurant for dinner with friends. Between it being crowded, hot inside, and my exhaustion, I fainted while walking to the bathroom. This cute girl who I sensed was a regular at this place helped me get up and outside to cool down and recover. I think I need to go back and use the incident as a conversation starter. There you go. All right. So let move on from that one. I like that this one looks relevant. I'm gonna go to this next article. Okay. Reads, I've been a homeowner for 4 years. These are the biggest things I wish somebody told me on day one. 1, your home equity is a gold mine. If you need cash, stop taking out high interest loans. Yeah, so my we actually had something like this with my parents for a while until recently. They were using a home equity loan to pay for a bunch of stuff, and basically what it is just a loan against, like, well, your home or piece of property or whatever like that as collateral. But yeah, whereas with the high interest, you know, there's no collateral. Like, you're not putting up your house, you're not putting up your car, or anything like that. So, but then you're just straight up paying more. So yeah, I get that. 2, switch auto insurance companies every 6 to 12 months. I should probably do that. So, try and find the best price online. Yep. Get yourself a dang advisor. Yeah, get help. 5, you don't have to pay off your debt by yourself. Ooh. Okay, this is actually interesting. Very few people know about it, but if you have $10,000 in debt, you can technically ask a debt relief to come in and take over the process for you. Typically save you 23% off your total debt after fees. Interesting. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's just like a house thing, though. Most likely. And 6, save on home insurance. Well, you know what? I lied. This list is actually stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I put you guys through that. That was boring. Okay, here we go. This one looks a little more fun. My partner, roommate, and I all surprise each other with pizzas. Yesterday, I sent a group chat message. I feel like I know where this is going. This is going to be a Spider-Man pointing at each other thing. Yesterday, I sent a group chat message asking if anyone was up for pizza that night. They both replied yes. I decided to surprise them by putting 2 stuffed crust pizzas in the oven just in time for it to be done around when they'd both be home. My partner was the first one home and came walking in proudly with 2 pizzas from a nearby pizza place. We shared a laugh when I pointed out the pizzas in the oven and decided we'd just have extra leftovers. Then came to our roommate, who proudly told us not to worry about cooking or ordering, since he said a pizza to be delivered any minute now. We ended up with 5 pizzas within 30 minutes of each other. We wish we had more friends in town that has similar work schedules, but it was just nice to have all of us trying to treat each other. Aw, that's nice. It's replied, I love that for you guys. Yeah. I have a feeling these people are riding around in a very brightly colored van. Possibly with a dog or 2 in there. Look for a guy wearing a green short and khakis. You know he's the right guy when he opens his mouth about 2 feet shoves the whole Sammy in there. This is basically just a fun, lighthearted, anecdotal, not like real life at all type of situation. Alright, let's end with this one. The guy in front of me at the grocery store brought only limes, whipped cream, and duct tape. He made eye contact with me and then cut me off in line. No basket, no bag. Just walked up to the register with 7 limes, a can of whipped cream, and duct tape. Didn't hesitate, didn't look bothered. Honestly, he seemed confident. Just watched as the lady at the register scanned everything like it was totally normal and walked out. I honestly respect his commitment. Whatever's going on, I hope it worked. Let's see. Someone replies, I was doing a shop delivery one time in South Alabama. I didn't accept because it was a dude's name. I was by myself, female, and didn't live in the area. And only 3 items. The 3 items. 1 cucumber. 1 English cucumber. 1 pack of male enhancement drugs. Oh, hell no. See. These responses are kind of dumb. Now, one thing, if I had to guess, I would say that whoever this person is probably like a bar manager or something like that. Because, I mean, yes, hey, we need some extra limes. This would be in a small town, mind you, not in a big city or whatever. Just like, yeah, we need some limes. We need some whipped cream for because there's a bachelorette party. And then duct tape is probably just to fix something behind the bar. I'm being generous. Whatever. And that's about all the Reddit I want to handle for now. So, for now, I will leave you guys. I might come back in a little bit later this month, but if I don't, go to the end of the episode. See all my links. Where Multi-Murdy Media is on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok.com. It's my website. Of course, if you're listening to the podcast, we're on everything, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, all of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if I don't see you again, I hope you had a happy April and a good break coming up.